Hello. Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3831, maybe. Yeah, 32, I'm not really sure. Today's date is January 2000. It's 21 of January 2026. It's been almost like morning at 9:35 p.m. Sorry, a.m. It's a morning, it's a.m. Okay, 9:35 a.m. Alright, should we ask question? Okay, let's go. Alright, the question is what part of design and visual make me angry, excited, hopeful, and deeply curious? Okay, that is a really good question. Okay, but it's a very hard to understand what exactly is this question about. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. So, what exactly is this question, and what exactly is this question about? This is kind of like question is about kind of like a assembly YouTube specifically as a kind of like assembly as a YouTube content creation means like that the person who wanted to be kind of like a YouTuber. I think these are kind of like question should supposed to be asked to the like a person who wanted to be entered in the YouTube and things like that because uh, because it was kind of like a really essential like a basically is this thing YouTube is a kind of like a far more easier from practical sense of point of perspective that you just kind of like upload the video and that's it, you just become a YouTuber. But I think that the technicality of this particular YouTube thing is a kind of like a far more simpler. But if you understand in this thing in a very deep manner, you take a lot of time and things and that's why these are kind of like question that I should supposed to be asked to myself so that I would consider that I'm a kind of like a YouTuber and things and that. Okay, yeah. And by the way, this question is a bit more confusing. Like, still, I am not really understanding the well it properly. Like, basically, it says that what part of the design and visuals make make me angry, excited, hopeful, and deeply curious. What part of the design and visual? Okay. So what I sense and what I kind of like understand regarding about this question, because it's also kind of like a very hard to kind of like understanding this particular question and things and that. I think that now this question is kind of like somebody specifically kind of like a telling a kind of like a somebody represent regarding about thumbnails specifically, because I think that na ki design and visual these are kind of like a somewhat something associate in specifically in thumbnail. Okay, yeah, because in the YouTube thumbnail are kind of like a bit more essential and you have to understand regarding about every possible scenario and things and that. Okay, yeah. So so I'm gonna tell like I kind of like what kind of like a thumbnail do I like and what kind of like a thumbnail is that key. It felt really good. Okay, yeah. So there are like I like first of all is that key. Let me tell you regarding about myself. Okay, yeah. That key I was never really watched YouTube that much. Okay, yeah. Like I started watching YouTube maybe kind of like a something like the 2018 maybe or maybe 2019, 2018, yeah, 2019. I don't know 2018 maybe, but I was not really kind of like a somebody watching the YouTube that much because YouTube is a kind of like a things that na ki I never really watch nothing really hardcore. Yeah, like I never really I just don't really know what exactly YouTube means what, and I just like basically I just kind of like watch the video just for download the songs and like I just kind of like watch the music and songs and trailers and maybe that's it. Okay, yeah. Like I didn't really know what is actually YouTube and how big is YouTube. I didn't really knew that. Okay, yeah. It was like a and as also is this thing na ki I am actually belong to the India by the way, and basically the exposure of the internet is kind of like a far less like a basically is this thing. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, is that ki like basically is this thing that ki I have this mobile phone in like I'm gonna tell you my first kind of like a somebody connection through like connection about the internet like what is actually my relationship with the internet. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna tell you is this thing that key maybe in 2011 maybe 2011, yeah, 2011 I have mobile phone name Nokia 2690 2690, and it's a kind of like a keypad phone. Okay, yeah, it does not touch screen phone. Like at the time, touch screen phone was kind of like considered as a luxury phone and things like that. Whatever. So I have this kind of like a phone, and good thing is that it can access internet. Okay, yeah, it has a kind of like a one feature called GPRS. Okay, yeah. Now today we talk about the like a 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G. Okay, yeah. But at that time there is a GPRS. Okay, I'm not really sure. Is it maybe kind of like a 1G or maybe even less than that? I'm not really sure about that. But at that time is a GPRS, and basically I am also very tech nerd, by the way. Okay, like I am really excited to know about kind of like a technology and things and that. Okay, so I have this SIM card named Tata Docomo. Okay, yeah, and at that time the GPRS plan was 51 rupees for 1 GB for 1 month. Okay, yeah, 1 GB for 1 month, 59 rupees. And by the way, if you are considered, that is a very low, but at that time it was like very high. Okay, yeah, and as also is this thing that key speed was very shady. Okay, yeah, nothing really at all. Like basically, is this thing what I would supposed to be access in the internet is kind of like a, simply the web pages and things and that. There is no streaming, there is no kind of like a video I should supposed to be streamed. Like basically is this thing that the YouTube I would I can see the YouTube, but I cannot able to kind of like stream the video is because of that key. It was like a like it does not like it doesn't really have that much amount of speed, nothing really at all. And at that time YouTube was kind of like just a website and that's it. Okay, yeah. So like, and also I'm actually accessing internet on this mobile phone, that chota sa mobile phone, and that's it. Okay, yeah. So I never really have that much been exposed through the kind of like some internet by desktop, nothing really at all. Like probably we have net cafe, we actually went to the net cafe, but probably we just went there for download movies and songs and musics and things and that. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't like, yeah, this is kind of like something the relation that I started with the internet and things and that. Okay, yeah. Now consider we are actually focusing about the YouTube, so I'm gonna focus regarding about the YouTube. So basically is this thing that at that time I can access the YouTube, but I won't be able to watch any kind of like a video because obviously my phone is not capable enough. One thing, another thing is that I don't really have that much internet speed. Okay, yeah, like it's a GPRS. Like, what should you supposed to expect? There is like nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. Then there is a 3G came. Okay, yeah. Now basically is this thing 3G is a kind of like a revolutionary. Okay, yeah. I'm not really sure about the 2G, but 3G came, and 3G is a kind of like a very high speed internet. Okay, yeah. And at that time I have like it actually happened after a couple of years after, and at that time I have this phone named Samsung S Duos probably, yeah, it probably that. So this is the kind of like a phone that I have. It's an Android phone. It's an Android phone. It's an Android phone. Okay, yeah. And it is a very laggy. Like basically this phone is kind of like a lag so much that I just can't even tell you. It just kind of like simply unlock and I just have to wait. If I want to click the app, I just have to wait. Everything I just click anything, I just have to wait. That phone is this kind of like a very crazy. I don't know how to supposed to explain. And this actually happened is about maybe 2000, maybe kind of like a 13 or maybe 14 at that time. Okay, yeah, I have this kind of like simply Samsung S-Duos. I bought this second-hand phone from one of my friend. Okay, yeah, I was really excited is because of it's an Android phone and it was good, whatever. So basically at that time there is a internet, 3G internet. Okay, yeah. Now 3G internet is very costly. Like basically it costs like basically 200 rupees in a 2 GB per month. Okay, yeah, 2 GB per month. And basically the best part about this thing that uh, if you switch to the 3G, like basically in the mobile phone there is a kind of like a feature that you could kind of like a switch from 2G to 3G. So if I switch 3G, then internet went so fast and I would kind of like a run out of data, and probably I would kind of like a somebody exhaust entire data within a day. Okay, because 3G was that highly speed, and at that time 3G was, I was considered that 3G was like a really crazy and things like that. Okay, so basically we are utilizing 3G for only and only for very extreme situation. Extreme means like that like I need high speed internet, so then I will switch 3G and then I will kind of like okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, yeah. And at that time YouTube app was actually available, and basically it's this thing, if I wanted to watch any kind of like a YouTube videos, obviously I have to switch to the 3G. Okay, yeah. And if I switch to 3G, then it kind of like a run out of data and things like that. So base, and also we have limited data, it's not unlimited data, we have almost like a 2 GB of data per month. Okay, 2 GB of data. And if I kind of like a switch to 3G, then probably it would kind of like a run out of data in within a day. So probably we are kind of like basically I'm actually utilizing 3G for like a very extreme situation, like a very very essential thing. And at that time I'm gonna utilizing 3G. Rest of the time I'm kind of like utilizing that 2G thing. Okay, and 2G is kind of like a very slow and things and that. Okay, but that is okay because 2G is a kind of like a unlimited. Okay, unlimited means what? That it's not unlimited, it's a kind of like a things that it's a limited, but probably it's a kind of like a things that it's a slow, but it's unlimited. It's good. I'm not really sure how much kind of like a things, but it is good. Okay, so uh I'm kind of like a most of the time I'm kind of like a utilizing 2G, and 3G I will not gonna use, is because of that key run out of data and things like that. Now because of is this thing, it kind of like constrain me to not to use YouTube that much. Obviously is this thing, if I use YouTube, then probably it just run out of data very quickly, so I never really use anything at all. Okay, yeah. So then I bought like a basically in this thing in 2000 maybe 15 maybe 15, yeah, 2015, yeah, 2015 I bought the new phone, Motorola Moto G2. Okay, I was like really excited for this thing and that. Okay, I bought this phone. It's a 3G phone. Okay, it's a 3G phone, and I also have a kind of like a Vodafone 3G SIM card. Okay, yeah. And in 2016 there is a kind of like a something new revolution actually happened from Geo called 4G internet for free, literally free, 4G free. I was like, oh my god, 4G for free. But the problem is that my phone is a 3G phone, like 3G phone. It's not 4G phone. So I cannot able to access this kind of like a simply 4G phone. And in 2015, I recently bought this Motorola Moto G2. So which is not capable enough to kind of like assembly the 4G thing. It's not okay. And by the way, this Jio SIM card is a kind of like a hot take. By the way, like basically like there are so many people are wanted to utilizing this utilize this in Jio 4G, Jio 4G. It was kind of like a revolutionary, and at that time, like I just recently bought the phone which is 3G phone, and I just stuck with that thing. Okay, I cannot use 4G and things and that. And 4G is a unlimited, high speed unlimited. It's like, oh my god, it's really good, it's really great. But probably is this thing I can't able to use, whatever. But I just kind of like assembly how this 3G phone, it's not really that like how do I supposed to switch the phone, like how do I supposed to kind of like take 3G to 4G, like should I supposed to buy another phone? No, I will not gonna buy another phone, definitely not. It kind of like cost me like a 13,000 rupees probably at that time. Yeah, 13,000 rupees. So it was like I don't want to. Yeah, it's just like it's don't want to means like that. I don't really have any choice. Like I have this 3G phone which is, yeah. And when I say 3G, then it kind of like a plan runs on 3G. Okay, so basically it's just saying that data run out very quickly. So the same situation that how do I supposed to access the YouTube? Nothing really at all. Yeah, but YouTube is always thing that I wanted to access, but because of the constraint and because of the limitation, I never been access YouTube, never really at all. Okay, yeah. Then what exactly happened that he like basically same thing happened, nothing really changed. Then I went to Khaparkheda in 2016. I went to Khaparkheda. I was kind of like doing a job over there as a maintenance. Okay, yeah. By the way, I have my special apartment. Okay, yeah. Like it's not my apartment, by the way, it's my relative's apartment. I was kind of like a living alone. Okay, yeah. So it was really good, but there is a one thing, there is nothing over there. Okay, yeah. Like basically just I just have mobile phone with the 3G and nothing at all. I really need a laptop. Okay, yeah. So I kind of like forced my father to kind of like somebody bought me new laptop and things and that, and they bought me new laptop. It's not really that. Okay, yeah. Now what I did, I just kind of like somebody broadband. I kind of like somebody take the broadband at that time in Khaparkheda over there. Like I call a guy, say this thing, dude, you are kind of like serving the provide service internet, yeah. So I need broadband connection, so would you? So he kind of like assembly attached the broadband connection and things and that, which cost like a basically like 1,500 rupees for installation and 600 rupees for plan, and unlimited, yeah, unlimited. Okay, yeah. Everything's kind of like a it's on Wi-Fi. It's really good. Okay, yeah. So in this particular situation, this is the first time I'm kind of like simply accessing the internet like a like without even thinking like that, like without even thinking about the data run out and things and that. Okay, because before of that, okay, yeah, it was not really that I cannot able to access the internet. I can able to access the internet, but because of the constraint that I have, because of the kind of like 2G 3G internet speed and things and that, I never really been open or access YouTube that much. I never really been know more about the YouTube that much, because obviously is this thing, if I access the YouTube, it kind of like a cost so much amount of data I can't afford, because I lost entire data within a day. It's not really properly like a convenient for me. So I never really been YouTube that much, never really kind of like access YouTube that much. But this time this is the first time I have this Wi-Fi broadband connection. I also have a laptop, and this time I feel like that okay, I have a YouTube and I can access YouTube without even hesitation and things like that. Because before that now I was kind of like, if I wanted to access the YouTube, I just download the YouTube. I just download the video from I went to internet cafe and download the video. Okay, yeah, and that's it. Okay, like whatever the video that I like, I just click it. Like I have this kind of like some IDM internet download manager. Okay, yeah, install this software. There is a kind of like a pop-up. It kind of like a click it and kind of like a download and things like it. It is like really cool. At that time, me and one of my friend Vishal, we actually went together, and we kind of like simply download like a movies and songs, and like we have kind of like a race, like we have kind of like we are spending almost like a 20 rupees for an hour. So it's really essential to download as much as content of data and things like that. We just download a lot, like a really lot. Okay, yeah. And specifically YouTube, because the speed get really higher, like yeah, it's too much higher. Whatever, but in 2016 I have this broadband connection, I have this Wi-Fi, and I am actually accessing YouTube, and I am actually accessing the YouTube. Okay, yeah. So this is the first time I'm kind of like access the YouTube. And what kind of like a video that I watch, I was kind of like watching a video about the kind of like a music and things and that and that and that. Like it's kind of like a things that na ki because of I never really understand what is that YouTube. I never really been understand that ki how big is YouTube and how kind of like a somebody, I don't really understand things like that. Okay, yeah. So whatever the kind of like a video pop up in front of my homepage, I just kind of like a click it and watch it. That's it. I just don't really understand. I don't like I was not like at that time now I was not really sure that key content creation is a kind of like a thing, or kind of like a YouTuber is a kind of like a thing. I was not I never really thought about that. I never really think about that. I just don't know about that thing. Okay, yeah. Like I think that now it's a kind of like a only bunch of people who are kind of like uploading video, and probably YouTube might gonna give some sort of amount of money. I was never really think about that. Like I was just as a viewer, I just kind of like a click it, I just watch the video. I don't know what exactly subscriber means what. I just don't know what exactly like means what, comment means what, nothing really at all. I just watched the video. It kind of like a felt good. Watch. I didn't really like the video. I skipped the video and things like that. It just yeah, I just don't know what exactly YouTube means what. It just nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. Then 2016, then 2017. Okay, yeah. And in 2017 I bought the new phone. Okay, yeah. Motorola Moto G3. Okay, it's a second hand phone I bought, which is a 4G phone now. And also I bought the kind of like a something Jio SIM card with a kind of like a 4G internet, which is also really good too. Okay, yeah. So then I like basically what exactly happened now, then I kind of like lost the job. Like I quit that job. Then I was not kind of like staying there in Khaparkheda. I was then after that, like basically after July 2017, August 2017, I was kind of like doing a CAD modeling designing courses, like AutoCAD, Creo, CATIA and things and that. Okay, yeah. And I wanted to learn those skills. Is because of that I want a kind of like a different job in a design sector and things and that. So I was kind of like doing these courses. Okay, yeah. So I kind of like lost this Khaparkheda job. I came home and kind of like something I was kind of like doing that courses, which that course is actually available in Nagpur. So I was kind of like doing up and down every single day, like from like every morning I kind of like wake up, take the train, kind of like go to the Nagpur, kind of like do your class things and that, come home at least like a 5 p.m. and then yeah, this is kind of like stuff that I was kind of like doing it. And at that time I bought the new phone called Motorola Moto G3. Okay, yeah, Motorola Moto G3. Okay, and no, not that. Like I didn't really bought Motorola Moto G3. I bought this after. Like basically, the phone that I bought is iPhone 6s. iPhone 6s. Okay, yeah. Motorola Moto G3 I bought after. Okay, yeah. iPhone 6s. This is the first iPhone that I bought. Okay, yeah. Second hand, by the way. Obviously, can't afford can't afford a kind of like a only real one. So in 2017, I'm pretty sure it's maybe a winter 2017 probably. Okay, yeah. And I was a kind of like a somebody, winter means like a kind of like a January February probably. Okay, yeah. I was kind of like a saving up couple of money for this phone. Okay, yeah. Like I save kind of like a somewhat something 12,000 rupees. Okay, yeah, from my salary and things and that. And then rest of the kind of like a somebody 10,000 rupees I asked to my father for this mobile phone. Okay, yeah. And I bought this mobile phone which is kind of like a somewhat something 21,000 rupees. Okay, yeah. iPhone 6s, which is really good. Okay, and this is the first time I kind of like experienced the iPhone. Like I always been like really admire regarding about the iPhone and things and that is because of that kid. The like before that I was kind of like using such a mobile phone which is kind of like a slow speed and things. It kind of like a hang a lot. Android kind of like a hang a lot and things and that. But iPhone, it does not. Like iPhone 6s is was like so smooth. Like I was like, oh my god, this phone is like okay, yeah. And it is really good. Okay, yeah. So I bought this phone. Okay, yeah. And it's a 4G phone, by the way. And because if it's a 4G phone, I can access the Jio SIM card, and I could kind of like watch the kind of like assembly YouTube videos and things without thinking about anything at all and that. Okay, yeah. And then after that I kind of like changed the job. I was kind of like doing this CAD modeling courses and things like that up and down. Okay, yeah. Now regarding about the YouTube. Okay, yeah. I still don't really use YouTube that much. Why is that? Still is this thing that life is kind of like a divert in some sort of situation and things and that. And YouTube is like, as I mentioned, YouTube is kind of like never been a kind of like a things like maybe I was not really that access that much YouTube that much. Okay, yeah. Is because of that I was kind of like a lack of know regarding about what is actually YouTube and what does it means. Like basically it's this thing as I mentioned, I don't know what is actually YouTube. Like right now I know how big is YouTube and how much it impact to the people and things and that. But at that time I was not know about the YouTube. Like I still don't know. I just kind of like simply I opened the YouTube just for entertainment. Just for entertainment. I never really kind of like a thing that YouTube is a kind of like a platform where you could educate to. I never really knew that. I also kind of like watch some sort of tutorial regarding about something, but I never really consider as a YouTube is a kind of like a educational medium. Never really at all. I just always consider as YouTube is a kind of like a entertainment. I just kind of like open up the YouTube video, kind of like play some sort of song and things and that. Yeah, that's it. Nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. Then I was kind of like I kind of like got a job in Nagpur, and I was kind of like staying there in Nagpur. Okay, yeah. Now I have this mobile phone which has a kind of like a 4G internet, which is somewhat something free because it's a Jio internet. It's not free, but the plan is kind of like a far more flexible, and as also there is no constraint, there is no limitation. Like there is no kind of like a that you have to use 2G 3G. No, you get almost like a 2 GB per day. It was like a before that I was kind of like utilizing 2 GB per month. I'm kind of like utilizing and right now 2 GB per day. It was like, yeah, it is good, it is great and things like that. So I'm utilizing this thing. Okay, yeah. But still is this thing most of the kind of like a time I'm kind of like utilizing YouTube as a kind of like just for entertainment, nothing really at all. A couple of time I kind of like watch a kind of like a web series. Okay, yeah. There is a one web series I vividly remember. Okay, yeah. Kota Factory. Okay, black and white Kota Factory was released on YouTube. It was like a really good, really great. I like just yeah, and also at that time na I also like basically download a couple of movies from the Netflix. Sorry, torrent, not Netflix. Okay, yeah. Why is that? Netflix is kind of like a far more expensive at that time. Okay, very expensive. I can't afford the plan for Netflix, but I download the Netflix movie from the torrent. Okay, and I know the torrent and things like it's a kind of like a jugadu and things like because I'm a tech nerd by the way. So yeah, I like yeah whatever. So most of the kind of like assembly content that I download, like most of the content that I consume is usually kind of like a download the content and then I watch the that particular content. I will not kind of like stream that much. And why is that? Is because of that key like like right now I have unlimited internet. I have my phone is 4G things and that. But still I always believe that ki when you download things then that thing is you own it and you can kind of like no interruption and things and that because like let me tell you one thing na ki right now I can easily access any kind of like a video, any kind of like a watch the movies and things like that without any hesitation and things like that because I know that the internet is not gonna fumble and things and that. But at that time it is fumble even if there is a 4G, but it fumble too. It sometimes it get load, sometimes it get hang, sometimes it's kind of like a somebody the like a destroy that visual experience and things and that. So instead of streaming any kind of like a stuff, I should supposed to download this thing. So if I download this thing, then I will go and own it. Then whenever I will gonna watch the video with high quality. Okay, yeah. And also torrent is also available. Okay, yeah. I use torrent a lot at that time. So much. Like I download so many movies on torrent and things and that. Okay, and because of this torrent, that's why I'm not actually accessing YouTube. Nothing really at all. Whatever, this is a very different topic. So basically is this thing, as I mentioned, still I was not really understanding the YouTube and things and that. Okay, yeah. Then basically what exactly happened that key I was kind of like doing a job and things and that and still I was using YouTube as a kind of like some entertainment factor, nothing really at all. Then basically COVID happened, I lost my job, I came home. Okay, yeah. And till now I was kind of like utilizing YouTube as a tutorial. Like I was kind of a couple of videos as a tutorial. Like I learned my Premiere Pro in a YouTube, specifically GFX Mentor. GFX Mentor is a YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, Pakistani YouTube channel by the way. I'm not really sure about that, but they taught me. They didn't really taught me. Okay, yeah. In this video, they kind of like taught me regarding about how the Premiere Pro works, how should you supposed to make a video and things and that. By the way, at that time I have a laptop, so I downloaded the Premiere Pro, crack version, not paid version. Still torrent Zindabad. Why? I'm still using torrent, still using kind of like a Premiere Pro crack version. Who the fuck will kind of like only use the Premiere Pro kind of like a buy version? If I will earning money, then I will gonna use, but still I'm still using Premiere Pro and Photoshop crack version. Okay, don't judge me, but this is what I am. Okay, so I download the Premiere Pro, I learn Premiere Pro and things and that. But COVID happened, lost my job, came home, and I realized that I just wanted to kind of like assembly learn by myself. I just wanted to kind of like assembly know all the skills and things and that. And then I kind of like utilizing YouTube. Okay, yeah. That I was kind of like looking for, like, then I kind of like basically this thing na ki why I didn't really use YouTube that much is because of that I don't really need it. Okay, yeah. But when the COVID happened and I lost my job, I kind of like assembly feel really that ki like gone, nothing really at all. YouTube is the only one thing that kind of like assembly, if I need any kind of like information, I just go to the YouTube. I want to open Gmail account, how to open Gmail account, yeah, how to use a camera, how to do cinematography, how to do Premiere Pro. If there is a kind of like a problem happening in Premiere Pro, my Premiere Pro audio is not visual, how do I supposed to do this thing, everything I will gonna search on YouTube, and there is a kind of like a bunch of tutorial also be there. So since then my relation with the YouTube is kind of like a far more bigger, like basically this thing. And when I kind of like utilize this thing, I understand that YouTube is a kind of like a far more big thing. There are so many people are like me. They are also wanted to kind of like wanted to be creative and things and that and that. There are so many people that actually exist over there, and I just don't really know anyone about that. Nothing really at all. And it felt really that kid, dude. This YouTube is like basically it's this thing now. Till now, whatever the skills that I learned today is because of the YouTube. I learned Premiere Pro, I learned Photoshop, I learned graphic designing. I am still learning the like Android development. Okay, yeah. I know like a philosophy. I kind of like some understand regarding about looking at the life and things and that and that. Like basically, what exactly happened now? Artifact is a kind of like a somewhat something kind of like really helpful for me. But YouTube is a kind of like a something that key engine that kind of like drives me there, and Artifact is kind of like a somebody giving me that key. A kind of like a support that whatever the kind of like a somebody that whatever the information that you have that you actually accept this thing or that absorb this thing. Artifact is a kind of like somebody let me do all those stuff and things and that and that. So yeah, probably is this thing like I'm right now I'm kind of like utilizing YouTube a lot. Like every single time I kind of like simply sit, like I just open up the YouTube, watch bunch of videos and things and that and that. Okay, yeah. And basically is this thing that key also I using YouTube for very right purposes. Okay, yeah. My short form consumption is very less. I probably watch maybe one or two short form video. Okay, I usually watch long form of video. Okay, yeah. There are a couple of kind of like a creator that I really like their videos. Nitish Rajput, Gaurav Thakur, then Think School. Then there are a lot of creators who are kind of like some educating values and things. Abhinyu, Dhruv Rathi. These are kind of like some people who are kind of like somebody always providing an information video and things and that and that. It felt really good. It felt like that. Ki, wow, great, amazing. It's great. The way that the knowledge that they have, it felt really good. It also kind of like somebody gives me a hope that I could be better someday. I could be kind of like be good and things and that and that. Sometimes I just feel like that na ki the question is actually a bit more different. I'm kind of like somebody giving the answer very much different and things like that. The question is actually about that ki what kind of like somebody the design choices that kind of like somebody add a kind of like some emotion values and things and that and that. Specifically regarding about thumbnail title and things and that and that. I think that na ki regarding about this particular what kind of like somebody the content, like what kind of like somebody the design choices. Wait, let me understand this thing. What part of the design and visual make me angry, excited and hopeful and deeply curious? Okay, so regarding about the design, okay, regarding about the designing thumbnail and things like that and that, regarding about maybe this particular probably I didn't really understand the question that much probably, but regarding about the questions might be gonna say this thing that key like basically is this thing that key what kind of like a thumbnail that you like the most and what kind of like a thumbnail that you hate the most or things and that and that. I think that na ki it's not regarding about the thumbnail should supposed to be what exactly thumbnail should supposed to be like and what thumbnail should supposed to be I don't like things and that. Thumbnail are serve only one purposes. Attract the people and people should supposed to click on that video and things and that and that. Like Mr. Beast video, the Mr. Beast thumbnail is kind of like a very cartoonish. It's not cartoonish. It's a kind of like a somebody always kind of like a somebody providing a Jamie Mr. Beast face and kind of like a somebody like it's not like basically this is na ki even if the Mr. Beast thumbnail is a kind of like a somebody really good. He has a kind of like one of the biggest subscriber and things and that. But I didn't really like the thumbnail. Not because of kind of like somebody is saying that ki his video is not really good, but like specifically is this thing what kind of like a thumbnail do I like. Okay, yeah, there is a couple of creator I like his thumbnail. Hoping Bug is a kind of like a travel influencer, and basically his thumbnail was like really elegant, really minimalistic and really good. Okay, yeah. Then Cold. Okay, yeah. Cold maybe I'm not really sure. Cold is also kind of like a travel filmmaker, like really good. Okay, yeah. His thumbnail is also really good. Okay. Peter McKinnon thumbnail is also really good. He also very put a lot of thought process regarding about the thumbnail statistic and things and that and that. Some of the thumbnail I don't like, Abhinew. Abhinew is also kind of like a creator from the YouTube. Their thumbnail is kind of like a very aggressive and things and that and that. Nitish Rajput thumbnail, I really love it, but it's not the things that I love it. It's a kind of like a things that it kind of like a serve the purpose of this thing. And usually is this thing at some certain point when you have kind of like a million subscriber and things and that, your thumbnail is a kind of like a shouldn't supposed to be look good. It should supposed to be kind of like a represent you. Okay, yeah. So it is really essential that you have to put your face into the thumbnail. Okay, because it's a kind of like your face is a kind of like a brand value of your content, and your face is kind of like a really essential thing. Okay, like if I'm gonna say Dhruv Rathi face in a particular thumbnail, so it is a Dhruv Rathi video. If I say Nitish Rajput face, it's a Nitish Rajput video and things and that. So yeah, each thumbnail design is a kind of like a bit more different regarding about their scene statistic and stuff like that. Whatever, what is actually that kind of like thumbnail? Usually my focus on kind of like a short form content, and it doesn't really have thumbnail. It has like a specific frame and things and that. Alright, this is it. I should supposed to be end here. It's been almost like a 36 minute I've been talking, and yeah, thank you.